Hey there, team. And now I know I did say before, I've said it multiple times, that I do like to do 1v1s in groups of 2, but I decided that this one was a bit special, so I'll just make a battle about it itself. So this is actually, you've probably seen this fight on Scout's channel a little while back, but this is our Gondor versus the Shire battle that we did during one of his podcasts. So, as you'll know, this did end up being very, very close, but I won't do any spoilers in case you haven't watched it. I'm playing as Gondor because I've said it before in a few battles, like Gondor has really grown on me. It's certainly not my main faction or anything like that, but I enjoy it a lot. Sorry about that. Hopefully that doesn't come across too clearly. I accidentally just bumped my mic. But oh shoot, cool. Deploying was a lot faster than I thought it would be. Go through my armor quick. Got my marksman and my Gondor archers out front. 2 marksmen of Andros and 1 Gondor archer. So really went quite heavy on the archers. Reason for that, the Hobbits are very lightly armored, and I can really get some good killing done with these guys. And then behind them, Gondor spears to watch out for any cav charging. Nicely armored up. I think everything I have is maximum armor, even these Gondor archers out here. Then the guards of Osgiliath, lined up alongside the Fountain Guard and another unit of guards of Osgiliath. Usually what I'll do is I'll actually get 2 Fountain Guard instead, and I won't actually go for any guards of Osgiliath. But another thing, the Hobbits are lightly armoured, so I didn't want to go too over the top with my armour piercing. Behind them, Gondor infantry, again, maximum armour on these boys, really beefed up. Want them to be shooting through Hobbits for a very long time. Got the Vanguard of King Elisar standing behind them. Not got my general in him. My Nimlothian Honor Guard as well. Then the Veterans of Osgiliath. That's where I was putting my general today. On the advice of Zero Gaming in one of my comments. I really like to put them in archer generals, and this made sense. The Veterans of Osgiliath are of course not 2 hit points. They're not really generals bodyguard units, but I thought I'd give them a try for this battle. And with the 2 armor upgrades, they really do turn into beefcakes. And then also my Axemen of Lausanach, so just to give me some more AP. I've got my 2 AP units in the back here just to go up against anything nasty, mainly the Ents that I was expecting. We'll start from this side. The Bjornings are standing by, very frightening boys. And I've not gone for any cavalry today. I just don't do cavalry anymore when I play as Gondor. I think Gondor is very good with their spears. They're very good at countering cavalry in other ways that I don't need to bring any cav. Got the Proud Protectors, very frightening there. And then along this line, some battling Brandybucks. Yeah, all battling Brandybucks. But in front of them, there's probably some Hobbitry in arms hiding. Farmers of Buckland. More Farmers of Buckland there. The Gandalf Fireworks. And of course the Ents, but there's of course some hidden archers and hidden Badabras archers and hidden Hobbitry in arms dotted around here and there, which will pop up soon. I'll leave it we'll leave it at 0.1 for a second. Actually no, let's go up to 0.5. I lined up sort of just cleared face them like this. The reason for that was just, it was kind of natural. But you'll have seen in a lot of my battles, and you can see what I'm about to start trying to do now, I usually like to deploy off-center. The reason for that is just in a 1v1, it always tends to throw off your opponent if you're not exactly where they expect you to be. So I see that, crumbs, I've not actually done that, I've forgotten to do that. So that's why I've grabbed my men and I've done this kind of movement over to the side. Now this is not smart. I shouldn't have done this, because this is just giving him a good flank shot on my boys and a perfect just more time for him to rattle into me with that firework, with those fireworks. And every one of my guys here is very damn important, to be honest, very heavily armored, and these shots are just killing them left and right. So it's you can see all the corpses just popping up very quickly. So a little bit annoyed by that, and I should have just immediately stopped and gone straight for him, but I had started, so I was like, no, I'm gonna finish. But yeah, that was very bloody, and I lost a lot of men from that, a lot of very important guys. But that was 1 volley done. And of course, he's opening fire on me with his Tookish Hunters. Coming into my marksmen of Andros, my Gondorian archers, even my Gondor spearmen. don't mind too much. Of course, I want the Marksmen of Kirandros later in melee, but if I don't get them, then... Oh god, a few of these guys are stunned in the back here. More fireworks coming in. Again, nice and compact formations, just racking up kills. So I know I can't just sit and tank this. I need to get stuck in. Even with the amount of damage I'm going to be doing with my 3 units of archers, I need to get launched in. So I actually kind of goof up a bit, and I lead the charge with my Guards of Osgiliath, and I've got my Gondorian infantry trying to chase them, trying to get in front of them, but no, I'm a bit too slow with that. So he could be coming in with arrow fire. Luckily for me, he's still targeting my archers, and not just going right into the face of the Guards of Osgiliath. Luckily, I do get my men in front soon. Oh, now I did do a good volley there. Ah, good. So, as you'll know, those poor Bjornings ended up getting caught up in his stakes. They did manage to come right into my pikes and my Gondorian spearmen, so I mopped up what was left. Not too bad, but it would have been a lot messier had there been a lot more of them. Very important guys there, continuing to die. A lot of my Fountain Guard there, biting the bullet to those rockets, and I'm just wanting to get stuck into melee. Yep, Gondorian infantry colliding with the battling Brandybucks, colliding with the Hobbitry arms, both of them being armor-piercing units, relying much more on that defensive skill, which, you know, you can generally count on the Kingdoms of Men to have some, but these guys end up routing with 106 men. Just bolting off the field. I guess that's just overwhelming numbers, and the fire damage, things like that, causing that rout. But as I've collided with my Guards of Osgiliath, and once they sort of get organised, this'll do okay. But I was needing to win on the front line. I've got so much power in my infantry, my pikes, and my Gondorian infantry. I'm wanting to win on the front line. So seeing people struggling left and right is definitely giving me a lot of concern. So I get my archers lined up and just starting to rattle into whatever I can. I've got my veterans of Osgiliath closed in, just unloading as well. So I've got 4 units of archers really to be doing the business. I'm trying to come in for a flank. You know, Vanguard of King Ilithar coming in for a flank on this already kind of struggling position of battling Brandybucks and Hobbitry in arms. I was feeling pretty good about that. Managed to collide with the Band of Brass Archers, get my Axemen of Losanak even for, you know, a much larger flank. I know we're taking fire from the Longbottom mob, which is armor-piercing fire, but it's not really too much of a worry. The bandits pop up though. That is a bit more concerning to me. But I'm already here. I can't really run away from that, so I've got to just tank it. I've got quite a lot of 2 hit point elites on the field, so if I've got to lose the Vanguard, I lose the Vanguard. They get grabbed by the Ents, and I'm thinking, crap, you know, really could do with them having armor piercing if they're going up against the Ents, but the Vanguard will stand their ground, and I've got the Axemen of Losanak ready and waiting to come chopping down onto some Ents anyway. So I'm pretty chuffed with that. Bandits are coming forward. They've already used up their javelins. Oh, sorry, nope, they've got another one to go. So that's going to be coming right into the back of my Axemen, which isn't going to be fun. Close range fire from the bandits. They only get 2 volleys though, so I did just kind of feel better off tanking it. In the centre where the Fountain Guard are standing, the Fountain Guard are just so exceptional. I love the Fountain Guard. And backed up as well, I think even by some Nimlothian Honour Guard, so I've got a lot of meat there just dealing with these guys, and that's going pretty damn well. And the left flank as well too is going quite well as well. The Hobbitry and the Farmers of Buckland are going to be changing that. And I see the Dunedain Rangers emerging also. So I start targeting them with my archers. And I've got my Pilgrim Marines. Who are they going for? I think I was just... Yeah, I think it was the Farmers of Buckland. I know the Farmers of Buckland don't really have armor, but I wanted them dead. And I just kind of wanted to win the front line as quickly as I could. These Gondorian spearmen, now that there's not really any threat of cavalry, the Gondorian spearmen are coming lurching forward just to back up that line, provide a bit more mass for it. But my Nimlothian Honour Guard are here, and I really want my Nimlothian Honour Guard going toe-to-toe with those Ents, who are having a really good time just crushing my poor Axemen. You know, the Axemen taking javelin volleys right to the back, so they're just dropping like flies. The Vanguard of King Ilithar are launching themselves right into the middle here, and really taking a bit of a beating, actually. Probably some more javelins coming into them, armor piercing from the Band of Brass Archers, decent amount of skill and armor piercing from the Farmers of Buckland as well. So my right flank is where I'm faltering. But if I can keep the Ents there, luckily the bandits are launching themselves into melee now, So those heavily armoured Axemen of Losanak are going to be standing their ground as best they can. You know, the Axemen of Losanak, with those two levels of armour upgrade, they can really change what they are as a unit. And, yeah, I love them with that, you know. It's nice to have a beefy, you know, have a very beefy Axemen unit that you can trust to hold the line quite well. Let's just watch that synchronized kill. I love it the Hobbits do suddenly get taller when they receive a synchronized kill, but it's just the only way the animation can work. But generally, yep, right flank is going to falter. Centre is actually kind of struggling as these Fountain Guard have got their backs to the enemy. And we just got the call of me reaching half of my men. We're at 53 for 43, so I was pretty freaking scared, really. I see these Band of Brass Archers coming forward, because I'm really wanting to get my Pelargor Marines around. They actually do have javelins left, and I was wanting to just try and get some shots down on the side, or preferably into the Proudfoot Protectors. But these Band of Brass Archers come forward. I don't want them to get a flank on me, so I actually come in for a charge with my Pelargor Marines. Which, this was partly to test as well. Like, I kind of wanted to see the competence of the Pelargor Marines in melee up against a unit like the Band of Brass Archers. But, as with every Gondorian unit, Pelargor Marines have some semblance of armour. So that armour piercing from the Band of Brass, good little jumping thrust there, Flag Bearer. You know, they're going to be able to do something. But it very quickly is turning against me. I'm kind of regretting that action. But they'll hold them in place for a minute and stop them from flanking around me. Still having a lot of trouble on the front line. The left, where I was quite strong, is starting to falter, and it's really only the centre that I'm, you know, guaranteed on. I've got some Gondorian infantry that have returned from routing that are coming in to back up the right, which, since that's kind of where I've put a lot of my focus, the right is starting to look okay for me. Some of these bandits have actually got their backs to me. Scout likes to use guard mode a lot. I've been seeing that when I've been watching his podcasts and watching his videos. You know, he makes good use of guard mode, which has its benefits, but it does lead to situations like that sometimes, where your men are just standing in kind of weird formations where they're not, you know, every man isn't fighting. So I'm just trying to punish that, get some shots into the back with my archers, just level the playing field. We're at 62 for 56, so I have been climbing back, but losing all the way along the front is not fun. So he gets his Dunedain Rangers out of melee. But to be honest, you know, the Dunedain Rangers were providing a bit of a service there, and they were parrying away a lot of those pike hits, but their allies were running low. So now I'm able to push through there in a minute. Nimlothian Honor Guard are actually still here. I really thought I moved the Nimlothian Honor Guard over by this point to deal with the Ents. But yeah, maybe I gave the order for a few of them to do it. I don't know. Hard to say. Still, those stones coming flying into my poor men, as you'll get. It's just the way it goes with these. When you're fighting these hobbits, you're going to be getting stones thrown at you throughout the entire battle. So you know, it's just something you got to try and shrug off. But it will do damage over time. So I managed to break that position finally, and I've fallen back my Pelargor Marines from that fight. A few of them are still standing, and deal about 30 casualties for, oh god, about sort of 50 of my Pelargor Marines. So not an absolutely abysmal showing, but not great. So as I'm running on out, and I actually think I turn around and start throwing javelins at the Band of Brass Archers, as we're starting to shoot them as well with my marksmen of Caer Andros. I just want this little flanking force dealt with, so that I can get my Pelargor Marines around and once again start throwing into my his Proudfoot Protectors that have been rattling shots off at me for quite some time. And that's the really messy thing. These Tookish Hunters are not going to be doing too much damage to my boys, even the unshielded guys, but it's the Proudfoot Protectors that I'm afraid of. Finally get my Nimlothian Honor Guard free, so they're going to be running off here to go deal with the Ents. I thought they did that a lot earlier, but obviously not. And as I say, the right side, it's kind of struggling, because all I've really got left is a lot of Gondor spearmen and a few Gondorian infantry, so it's more just holding the line now. The Axemen are gone, the vanguard of King Illusar are gone. They died fast. So I need to get my Nimlothian Honor Guard stuck in there, and with their armor-piercing spears, they'll be able to get some good damage on those Ents, and try and just deal with them. Tookish Hunters storming forward right into my Fountain Guard, which you never really want your phalanx units to get totally surrounded like that, but the Fountain Guard are in a league of their own. They are exceptional at what they do, so they can survive this even with getting these pebbles hurled at them constantly. Yeah, oh dearie me, that was quite nasty. Even with getting all of these pebbles hurled at them, they will hold. At least for a time, at least until I can mop up here and give them some support. And all the while, when I'm done, when these guys are out of their ammunition, all these marksmen of Kyrandros are going to pull out those big great swords, and that's going to be 75 and over here 87 men that are suddenly greatsword infantry. So I was, as nasty as it was kind of feeling, we're at 74 for 71 now. But keep in mind, those Ents haven't died yet, so they're each individual men. They're running away from my Nimlothian Honor Guard. My Nimlothian Honor Guard are running away as well, unfortunately, and I don't think they'll be coming back with those numbers. So he pushes on through, and I decide to countercharge him. Bows in hand, unfortunately, countercharge, but just wanted to get stuck in. And if I can, as damaged as those Ents are, as damaged as I felt those Ents were, I just thought, this unit should be able to wipe him out, surely. So I thought, be hyper aggressive, get stuck in, charge him, and do this little bouncing charge thing that people do, and just try and wipe him out as quickly as I can. So that's what we've got going on over there. Oh my god, it's such a shame that they're routing. Pilgrim Marines actually falling back. Do I want them to deal with the Ents? I'm just wondering why I'm doing that. It's a bit strange of me. In the centre here, the Fountain Guard have kind of managed to... I've been seeing like phalanx units do this quite a lot recently, kind of just form this back-to-back formation, and it works really well. But still more and more stones coming in. Guards of Osgiliath coming forward. Again, taking more stones. When's he going to run out of those? But Bandabrass archers standing by here. As I say, I think this could have been sort of a flank, but we were just able to stop it, and I'm actually getting my Gondorian spearmen up to try and backstab them. Just to stop him from being able to use them later on. I don't really want to storm a charge into those Proudfoot Protectors. As good as it would be to just stop them from shooting, those Proudfoot Protectors would just destroy anything in melee, unless it was quite an organised attack. My Gondorian archers here out of ammunition, coming forward just to battle away with the bandits, and a few of these Tookish hunters. They're not really going to be racking up many kills. Oh, see that? This guy's racking up some kills. Ah, good for you too. But it's been... Oh, damn, synchronized kills going all over the place. Yeah, they're just proving me wrong right now. But that armor advantage, especially up against the bandits who lack an armor piercing, the armor of the Gondorian archers is going to be holding them through quite well. My kind of aggressive act here of just throwing myself into the Ents is working out. I've been dropped down to about 53 of the marksmen though, but the arrival of the veterans of Osgiliath is turning that around. And we have almost killed off the Ents. Shooting off with these marksmen. So I've still got ammunition in that other unit of marksmen as well, so that's something to keep in mind. But shooting into these bandits, I really thought about using fire ammunition a lot, but I don't know, I guess I was just more focused on trying to do damage and rout them off that way rather than, try and just break their morale. So I get my Pilgrim Marines finally sort of moving up to do the original job that they were intended for. But they're taking fire from some Bandabrass archers, I see, okay. So he's obviously sort of viewing my Pilgrim Marines as quite a threat. And I really want to deal with those 117 Proudfoot Protectors, because they will just be a real anchor to any final formation. These long bottom mob, again, they're armor piercing in melee with those little clubs that they wield, but they're such a small amount of damage that I felt I can be okay. That Ent's still standing. Oh, we just saw him die from a distance. So he's just dropped there, which is good to get him fallen. These Gondorian archers, actually, it looks like they're maybe going to be pulling out their bows again. I wonder why I charged them forward. I guess it was probably just to back something up. Fountain Guard, only 4 Fountain Guard left. Trying to backstab alongside these guards of Osgiliath, coming into these Tookish hunters. I get my javelins in place finally, to start throwing off some damage into the Proudfoots, but again, they're taking damage from the Dunedain Rangers, from the Longbottom mob, and probably from the Proudfoots too. So just 25 of them left. We lost a lot of the banner carriers, which is, usually that's a bad thing, but When you've got a javelin unit, you really want all of the javelin throwers alive as you can get. Oh, damn, I think that was all misses, boys. I'm from quite a distance away, but I just wanted to throw immediately. Okay, we're going to go back up to normal speed now, because the main sort of bloodbath is over, and we're at 82 for 80 now. Veterans of Osgiliath, alongside my general, are going to be storming forward now. Out of ammunition, they are a pretty solid line infantry unit, especially with those 2 levels of armor upgrades. So just wiping out that Band of Brass archer unit, and then continuing to charge forward. That nice shield value that they've got is going to be helping them out up against these long bottom mob stones. They're not just going to be relying on their armor, but I need to just get them stuck in and start wiping these guys out. Quick little hobbits, though. Will make that a nuisance. Marksmen of Andros here, yeah, you can see they've still got their bows out, as do these Gondorian archers, and these guys as well. So I've been, just saying that these marksmen have just run out of ammo, so that's a shame. Pelga Marines routing back. There was too much firepower on them, but they've done well, and they're actually still taking fire on their retreat, so that's quite nice. Just still using up a little bit of enemy ammunition. Gondorian archers here alongside the marksmen, preparing to fire away. I think I'm just firing into the, yeah, just right into the Proudfoots. Proudfoots do have a bit of armor, and they've got a little shield on their back, so they're not really, you don't want to shoot them too much, but they are the only thing I'm really worried about in melee at this point. So I just want to unload on them and just deal with that threat. Everything else I'm comfortable with just gutting with my veterans. Veterans have taken a little loss there. They're down to 41. But every time I get close to these long bottom mob, they're just able to slip away. But every time I do, a few of them can't. So picking them away bit by bit. Didn't actually, I think the firework crew charged into the center melee. Fountain Guard alongside some guards of Osgiliath here, actually having a good fight. See, this is sort of what I'm talking. Well, with guard mode, of course, they're able to continue to fire, but this is kind of what I mean about a kind of inefficient formation. Had these guys not been in that, they could kind of get a total surround on my pikemen here, instead of just sort of fighting them bit by bit, which is really, that's what pikemen and halberdiers love to do. But I'm getting some support in anyway for them, to just mop that formation up. So what I try to do here with this last unit of Proudfoots is I want to get a surround on them. They are a phalanx unit at the end of the day, so that's why I'm really sort of running my my veterans past them and trying to just sort of position myself in a bit of a weird way. And on the other side, I'm getting my marksmen of Andros, who are sort of looking at these Dunedain Rangers, but I just want to make sure that when I engage those Proudfoots, that I'm doing it from every flank I possibly can. So I'm actually not going to take that fight, which is quite rare for me. I definitely do have a bit of an ego when I fight, and I do struggle to just decide, no, I'm not actually going to engage, I'm going to run away. So, but I do see what's best, and I try to fall back. I'm not ready to initiate that combat up against the Proudfoots. I just want to mop up what's left of these long bottoms that couldn't get back to the rest of their forces. Taking them down to 50. 46, good, 45. Hopefully a few more die in this little bloodbath there. Yeah, 42. So hopefully they won't come back. 41 now, yeah. Hopefully that's too small a unit to be returning for those poor little hobbits. But yep, continuing to sort of flank around, taking those stones. Just got to do what you got to do. But Gondorian archers here get some shots into the backs of the Proudfoots, which is nice. Because as I say, their armor isn't great. It really is that little shield that keeps them safe. Pikes with shields are a fantastic thing to have. You know, the Herendain pikes are great, great unit. So I might just sort of grab them here, or I am grabbed, really. I can't just sort of keep on running forever, but he's able to get a good rake shot down my line with his rangers, which I didn't really notice at the time. But with them colliding there, I just want these marksmen to stand their ground a little bit longer until the veterans can come into their backs. I managed to bring down the general, which is great. Got another unit of Gondorian archers. What are we at right now? 90 for 91, so we're still neck and neck. I've got my two Fountain Guard approaching now. But yeah, backstabbing. And we're just wanting to just surround this unit of pikes. I know we're going to get shot by the rangers, but it's just got to be done. Got my Gondorian archers standing there, getting some shots into them while they're in. I think this is them in shield wall now, because they can mash themselves into shield wall. They're not really a unit that you turn on or off phalanx, they're just sort of in it. So I do see how much damage the rangers are doing, so I get my veterans to try and chase them down. while I'm shooting into this position from two sides. And I just sort of fall back and I let my phalanx units take the fight. And they're wavering right now, so maybe I should have been using fire ammunition there. This one sword master just stuck in the middle. Good for him, he's doing quite well. As the phalanxes begin to chew into their backs. So those longer, well actually I think these are the full length of pikes. I know they may not look it, but I think they do have the same range. Good, bit of fire ammunition, and that routs him. So I was feeling chuffed to bits with that, and I felt, that's it, I'm done, I've won. You know, that's their only unit that can really fight me, and it's gone. So I decided to start chasing it, and just mopping up what was left. These Longbottom mob over here, just got my veterans of Osgiliath chasing down his rangers, who will just sort of be pecking away at me, but it's not too much of a threat. So I just grabbed my archers and want to keep this unit running away. But it wasn't long before I kind of thought, you know, this isn't Warhammer Total War. You know, in Warhammer, if you are chasing an enemy unit, it will keep running off the field. It cannot come back. Whereas in this, I was worried that all it's going to take is for these Proudfoots to decide, actually, yeah, no, let's not run. Let's turn around, and my Gondorian archers are dead. So I decided better than that is probably just to try and get some more volleys onto their backs as they run, so that if they do return, they're going to be in a bad way. So I unleashed some volleys on them. Just want to keep them running, but as soon as they get a bit of distance from me, they stop and they turn around. Now, maybe I think I probably should have just kept chasing them, but hey, you know, we all make mistakes. So I'm like, oh dear, well, let's just keep shooting at them. You know, let's keep shooting at them and let's get this Marksman of Andros around the flank. And yeah, these Longbottom mob are running off the field. And over on the far side, as you see from these little dust clouds, I've got my veterans of Osgiliath chasing down the Rangers. So he comes in for a charge against my Gondorian archers, and I'm pretty worried at this point. You know, there's only 42 Proudfoots, pretty badly beaten up, but I'm like, yeah, they can beat me in melee, no doubt. I'm actually fighting. Oh damn, there's a Longbottom mob over here that I need to deal with. So these Gondorian archers are going to be alone when they collide here. So I just prepare for it. Do I get one more volley off? I do. Close range volley, but those shields really will be helping them out there. So good little charge there. Rack up some nice kills, and I can just get stuck into melee. I charge into the back of them, though. Just try and get them surrounded. Try and get them killed off. But those armor-piercing pikes of the Proudfoots are wavering there. But no, it gets back to shit. They organize themselves after they start to realize they're actually racking up some good kills. And now, where are my phalanxes? Why are they all the way over here? I must have had them doing something. Must have been fighting something that was over here. But no, so I've got them moving in. Probably should have taken them out of phalanx and had them running on over, but I didn't really feel I needed it still. You know, these guys have started to rout, but I'm getting some fire arrow shots right into their sides. I thought, yeah, no, I'll make them rout again, surely. Let's just have a quick look over here. I won't be following this this little cat and mouse chase too much, but yeah, I've got my guys in spaced out formation. I could have straightened them out, maybe so that they were in 2 ranks instead of this sort of 3 rank that you're seeing here. And they would have maybe stood a better, like they would have taken less damage from these ranger volleys, but I don't know, my main goal was just to get stuck in at them. So, they've got nice armor, they've got a decent shield, and rangers don't actually pump out that much damage, you know, so, and definitely they don't pump out armor-piercing damage. You know, we've not got blacklocks here, but you're still seeing, you know, some of these rakes are getting about sort of 5 hits on my guys, so that is going to be mounting up, and I was a bit worried, but every time I catch him, am I going to catch him here? Oh, no, I don't think so. But every time I do catch him, I kill off about 2 or 3 rangers. So I was just wanting to see if I could kill them off. While over here, that little circle of Proudfoots, 24 of them, getting stabbed in the back by my Gondorian archers. This is probably where I'll be staying for most of the fight. My Marksman Andros kind of struggling. I actually try to pull these Gondorian archers back. Now the reason for that is because they've still got ammo. I wanted to pull them out and shoot into the formation, but by the act of pulling them out, they lost some guys doing it. They routed off, and I was kicking myself because they would have just been a helpful little tool to hold a flank. But no, they are gone from the field. And these marksmen aren't lasting long. They've only got 6 left. The Fountain Guard coming on in alongside the guards of Osgiliath are just sort of stabbing away at these guys. Phalanx versus phalanx. Yeah, the poor marksmen of Cair Andros are just not really built for this confrontation. Bit of defensive skill, so they are able to parry away these hits, but they do rely on their armor, as every Gondorian man does, and with that armor-piercing value of the Proudfoots, they are able to mince through that. And you're just seeing them drop left and right. Got two guards of Osgiliath remaining, though, alongside one Fountain Guard. So little by little, that halberd is just cracking into the armor of the Proudfoots, leveling them bit by bit. And of course, the long pikes of the guardsmen are doing some slow but steady business as well. But that poor Fountain Guard, of course, he's been taking stones all this fight. He's been fighting constantly. Is he exhausted yet? No doubt. Whoa, he's just warmed up. I love Fountain Guard, I really do. They are just a fantastic unit. I'll say I take 2 of them whenever I'm playing up against most armies. And little by little, we're thinning their number. But as we're thinning their number, they're thinning ours. We're down to 2 men over here, 2 different units. I was really chuffed that Guard of Osgiliath was staying, being alone like that. The Fountain Guard, of course, you'd kind of hope that. You'd expect him to be fighting to the last in this sort of circumstance. But prod from these guys. But we're now down to a 3v2 fight. And 2v2. So he managed to get a quick stab in the back there. Guard of Osgiliath and the Fountain Guard fighting back to back. While this guy's going on a bit of a wander back here. Turn around, good. The Guard of Osgiliath takes a stab from the back, dies, but the Fountain Guard is able to get some vengeance there. So it's a 1v1 as the 2 phalanx units try and find each other's location. And I managed to sort of get him into a bit of a stun lock. Stab, another one. And he drops. And I was overjoyed by that. All these poor marksmen of Cair Andros falling here, but this one Fountain Guard is able to finish it. Yeah. Fountain Guard are probably one of my favourite units, full stop, in this game. I just think they're God's gift. And I understand why people do have a problem with Gondor. But damn, dude. Like, maybe they just match my playstyle. Like, I can get the issue. I'll go into 2 times speed, which kind of follow this confrontation. I understand people's issue with the lack of solid cavalry, but the Penrith Gillen Cav are really not too bad. Yeah, they can do what you need them to do. Yeah, I wish the Gondorian cavalry were a little bit better up against enemy cav, but they're not terrific at it. And the Mithrandir's retinue, you can't ask for much better in terms of a lancer. So, no, I don't know. I think the issue with the people have with Gondor is, of course, if your enemy is bringing a lot of armor piercing to the fight, then it's a mission failed. Like, we'll get him next time type situation. You just ain't gonna do that. But whereas with the dwarves, you can often kind of rely on other things. Got a little cat crawling between my legs right now, but no, it's I like using them, and they kind of match for what I like to do. A nice sturdy infantry line and some great pikes and halberds, of course. So yeah, just tearing through what's left here. Scout could have kept on running, of course, but no, he decided to just stick with it. And I think we ended up with 99 for 100, which is very rare to have. And I was pretty chuffed to bits with that. It was a good little scrap. One of my most sort of long, definitely a long 1v1, but a pretty damn enjoyable one. And of course, as I've mentioned a dozen times before, very grateful for Vision. He was definitely MVP for me in this fight, giving me a lot of help by distracting Scout in the podcast. We'll just have a quick scan there. Veterans of Gileath doing a pretty damn good job. The Vanguard of King Elisar, of course, they got struck by the Ents, so that was a shame for them. So that definitely does deflate their kill count. I've got no real problems with the Vanguard of King Elisar. I think they are a pretty solid unit. Nimlothian Honor Guard there. Doing really quite well in the centre. I definitely shouldn't have had my Fountain Guard fighting alongside my Nimlothian Honor Guard. That was too much armor piercing in one place. I should have had just a standard unit of Gondor and Spearmen backing them up, and instead had the Nimlothian Honor Guard backing up a unit of Guards of Osgiliath. But that was just the kind of, it was a very rushed charge. Gondorian Spearmen kind of just taking a bit of a beating there to keep everybody else alive a bit longer, so that's fair. 105 kills. You'd want kind of more than that with Hobbits, but it's fair enough. They're mainly there to just kill cavalry, so, you know, there wasn't too much cav on the field. Guards of Osgiliath doing a fantastic job there, 299, and then the Fountain Guard, of course, 283, and toward the end, of course, the Fountain Guard really carried it, so I was chuffed to bits with them. The Gondorian Infantry, oh yeah, of course, 278, you can't be upset about that. The Gondorian Infantry there, as a whole, yeah, I would have still liked to see them do a bit better. For the most part, just I felt, you know, we were going up against a horde army, which the Shire sort of is, and I would have liked to have been slashing and, you know, killing through a few more. But again, it's the armor piercing that you're dealing with from just about every one of these Hobbit units. It's just going to deflate the power of the Gondorian infantry massively. Axemen of Lasanak, they were hacking down Ents. Yeah, you know, they were hacking down Ents and were getting shot by having javelins hitting them constantly, so not going to worry too much about that. And Pelagrim Marines were mishandled by me in this fight. The Marksmen of Kirandros did really damn well, actually. And so did the Gondorian archers, to be honest. I was chuffed to bits with their kills overall, and quite well done from them. But all in all, that was a really fun little fight. Hopefully this will be out on Sunday. Hoping to do like a good little Friday, Saturday, Sunday, putting out some videos, because I've got schedule is pretty free and clear. I'd love to get a week full of just putting out a Reforged video every day, but oh god, we'll see. Right, thanks so much, guys.